Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mind Garbage. My name is Eric Myers, and today is a very, very special episode. It was just announced a few days ago that Ben Affleck will be reprising his role as Batman from Batman v Superman, and will be doing a Batman solo movie that's to come out into the future. My reaction to all of this... I gotta turn it off. I am very, 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 very excited about this movie. It's super cool that this is actually happening. Say what you will about Batman v Superman, I think most people can agree that the best part of the movie was Ben Affleck's Batman. Much more older, grizzled take. And I think, honestly, the best Batman we've seen on screen, and as also a Bruce Wayne. Maybe not quite a best Bruce Wayne. I still think, to me, the best Bruce Wayne is Michael Keaton. His Batman that he did, and you might think that's crazy because everyone always wants to talk about Christian Bale and how good he was, and Christian Bale is like a solid 7. Sorry, like I love I love 2 of those movies, and I'm okay with one, that being Rises. But like I said, I think Ben Affleck totally nailed this part, and the thing that excites me more than anything about this is the fact that he is, if I remember reading correctly, he's going to be directing it, which is awesome. That is super, super, super awesome. He's directed some films like his The Town, Argo, and I believe Gone Baby Gone. I could be wrong. I think that one he did. But, I mean, he's very, very talented at writing. He's written... I believe him and Matt Damon wrote Good Will Hunting, which is one of my favorite films of all time. And then, he's very good at writing and then directing. And the interesting thing to me is that I read something a while back where he said that he didn't want to direct Batman v Superman because he's not good at directing big action set pieces. Or that, he's not confident in that. So what that says to me is that this is going to be a very, very different Batman movie, much more akin to the Nolan trilogy, probably. Or even 1989 Batman. And the reason why I say that is because you think about the way that Batman is, and it is very brutal and very dark. And he kills people, which I was totally fine with. It makes sense that, it's been rumored that, and obviously with Robin being dead in this continuity, and it's been rumored that they're going to go with Under the Red Hood as a story, which I'm totally cool with that. It sounds like, you can do that story, and you could really make that an awesome live action story. And I'm very excited to see where that potentially could go. But just more in general, like, Batman as a character to me is, he is on screen. This is probably the most different Batman that we've seen. And like I said earlier, how I really liked Michael Keaton. The reason why I really enjoyed Michael Keaton's take on Batman is because he was psychotic. And they really played up on the fact that this guy was just weird. The fact that he's, running around town and acting like a bat and whatnot. And you never really got anything like afterwards that, and you think Val Kilmer's Batman and Batman Forever was kind of just a Batman. He just, he's just there being Batman and whatnot. And then you have the Clooney Batman, which, say what you will, I thought if, had that movie had a better direction and writing and all that, he could have been a really good Batman, but he, didn't quite nail it. And obviously, Christian Bale being the freshest one on our mind, I have mixed feelings about his Batman. I think the first Batman movie, Batman Begins, of the Nolan trilogy is the best Batman movie so far that we've seen. And the reason why is because that is a Batman movie. That is a movie about Bruce Wayne becoming Batman and actually acting like Batman. Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises are not so much about Batman, but much more about the villains. You have the Joker, obviously, from Dark Knight, and then Bane.
Oh, yes, it's time for my plot. That makes no sense. No one cared about me until I put on the mask. I'm emoting with my eyebrows, therefore it makes the performance better, even though it kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's how I felt about that movie. But, I think that this movie has so much potential to be something so cool and so different. Like I said, I adored Ben Affleck's take on Batman. I thought this is the most different Batman we've seen. Them going with an Under the Red Hood story makes complete and total sense. of that. You see the Robin teased, the Robin suit teased, haha, joke's on you. That implies obviously a history with the Joker. We already know the Joker's in this universe, obviously, with Suicide Squad. But some other stories that I think would be really cool, and this one that I'm going to mention is a complete total pipe dream because it would never, ever, 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 ever in a million years happen, but I would love to see it, is Death of the Family, which is Scott Snyder and Greg something? Sorry. It's from one of the most recent runs of comics that they did, and it's from the New 52 Batman. And if you haven't read that story, spoilers for it, it's awesome. It's an incredible, story, and the reason why I like that story so much is because there's so many scenes on it. Sorry, pandemonium's happening outside. There's so many scenes in that movie that I feel like in that comic book that could translate so well to the screen. Specifically, there's a scene in it, or a panel, or whatever you want to call it. There's a part in it where Joker and Batman are sort of like standing across from each other on a bridge in dark and stormy night, and rainfall everywhere, and in my head I play this scene out as like they're kind of like meeting for the first time. I think that would be really awesome. And then if you have I won't spoil it, that story, just the way that it unfolds, it's awesome. The problem with it is that you would have to, in a single movie, introduce Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Damian Wayne, Jason Todd, and then Barbara Gordon, and that would be really, really, really difficult to do. And in a perfect world, if it didn't matter and it was just like, hey, we're doing a live action version of this, that would be awesome. That'd be incredible. Other stories that you could do, obviously Year One was sort of done by, obviously, but I would love to see maybe an adaptation of The Long Halloween, which I won't spoil that either, but if you haven't read it, get on it and read it. That would be fantastic. Maybe showing a little bit of a younger Bruce Wayne, which I think you could totally do. All you gotta do is just black up Ben Affleck's hair, make that bat suit a little bit, tighter, maybe get him a little skinnier. There you go. You can do it. And then, but then I guess Jared Leto's Joker would have to be like a baby, something like that. But what's cool about that story is that, you could focus on a side of Batman that is, more or less his detective side. And that's something that I feel like in this movie of Batman v Superman, you can say what you want about the direction. As a Batman fan, I can't tell you how excited I was to actually see Batman be Batman, and that the scenes where he's using gadgets and his Batmobile has all these weapons and all this. Someone's calling me. Oh, someone from Arlington, Vancouver? No, that can't be right. Virginia. Someone's calling me from Virginia right now. Don't they understand that I am trying to shoot a show? Idiots. But what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah. It was awesome to see him actually use gadgets and a little bit of his detective work, and I would love to see that translated into a movie. Another great story that could be done, and I think it would translate very well on screen, and they kind of already have done it with even the 1989 Batman story, would be Batman the Man Who Laughs, which is not an origin story, but really Batman's first meeting with the Joker, and it's really awesome and really twisted and cool, and I think that could be really interesting to do. But we're gonna get Jared Leto's Joker in this Suicide Squad, and at some point, I feel like in this Batman movie that Joker will be in it in some way, shape, or form, especially if they really are going to go with this Under the Red Hood story. My real big question is if whether or not this takes place before or after Batman v Superman. I think it could make sense to have it afterwards. I'm not exactly entirely clear whether or not Suicide Squad is before or after Batman v Superman. It seems like there's parts before, and then they're talking about Superman, like spoilers for Batman v Superman, that he's still kind of alive or not. I don't understand. Maybe it's something going on at the same time. Who knows, really? But I think you could tell these stories of after Batman v Superman, of Batman doing all these things, And I think you could tell a really cool and different personal story for Batman. Because I feel like Bruce Wayne, like I said, I enjoyed Michael Keaton's, but it is, for the time, it's really excellent, I think. I think today we can have a really, really awesome Bruce Wayne Batman story. Something that really delves into why Batman does what he does. And, how he is mentally almost, ill or deranged human, person or whatever. And I would really like to see that be kind of shown off in a movie, because we haven't really seen that, maybe. And again, like I keep saying, Under the Red Hood, I'm completely speculating. It just seems like that would be the most logical story to do, to really delve into. Obviously Robin being dead, he has probably, emotional stress over this happening, and I think you could show that off, and that'd be pretty cool. But that's all I got to say about that. I'm channeling Forrest Gump. I'm not going to do an impression because I feel like that could just be really wrong, but I would have done it. But that's all I got to say about that. But thank you for watching. If you like, you can follow me on Twitter at... I always want to go to the channel's Twitter, but that's not it. You can follow me on Twitter at EricMyers93. If you want, you can follow this channel on Twitter at 3_beersin. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Also, before I go, if you want to be a little bit of a part of the show, tweet at me your topics for the show, because I would love to be able to talk about something. That would be fun for me. So do that for me, for this guy, for your old pal Eric, please. All right, see you. Bye.